All right, guys, Rebel Moon non-spoiler review. Here we go. So this movie was not for me. I respect Zack Snyder as a person, as a filmmaker, but he repeatedly just does the same things that drive me nuts over and over and over again. This movie has the bones of a good movie, but I just don't think it's executed pretty much on any level. There's a few good action scenes, um, but overall, I think it's underwhelming. I thought some of the backdrops looked terrible. Some of the worst set pieces and backdrops I've ever seen. It looked like not even a Broadway show. It looked like a school play at times. I couldn't believe some of the scenes where there were supposed to be like mountains and whatnot in the background. You can clearly tell were fake. It looked like nothing was shot in location at all. It cost about 166 million for two movies, so it's a healthy amount of money, but not a lot. If you're thinking of a sci-fi epic movie, he tried to cram in way too many elements. Star Wars, Game of Thrones, Dune, um, really any piece of IP you can think of that's sci-fi in any way he crammed in. You can say they were nods. A lot of times they were just rip-offs, not even nods. I mean, Halo, a lot of the ships look like they were from Halo. The story just wasn't interesting. I didn't think the writing was good. It reminded me a lot of Army of the Dead in that it felt like they were making a movie when you were watching a lot of this. It's like, oh yeah, these look like actors in costumes filming. Which isn't even a Snyder criticism, it's more of a Netflix criticism. I've noticed this in a lot of Netflix movies. They don't come off as movies. They look like productions when they come through the camera, it's like it doesn't translate into a show or movie. It's still whatever they're filming. Um, at the end of the day, I still would watch it if you have Netflix. I mean, you're at home. It's not something that requires going to the movie theater, so I don't want any of my reviews. I always want my reviews to be my opinion. I don't want them to deter anyone from going and seeing them and making your own opinion. This is just for discussion purposes. Um, but again, Snyder just, I'm going to have my spoiler review in depth on YouTube. I'm going to link it in the comments, but he just he doesn't execute anything in this movie. I don't understand. Everyone's saying this is a masterpiece. This is adult Star Wars. This is not adult Star Wars. There's nothing Star Wars about this movie. The accents are all over the place. People, it doesn't, and I know it's a sci-fi movie, but the accents just make no sense. At least when you're watching Star Wars, they're all British for the most part, except maybe a couple of Americans mixed in. But this is all over the place. The clothing makes no sense. The guys are wearing suit and ties. The other guy, so like half the people are dressed like farmers. The other half of the people are wearing suit and ties, and other people are wearing like futuristic modern clothing. It doesn't make any sense. Um, but people are gonna like this movie. I don't. This is why Netflix, when they judge movies based on watch time, I think is tremendously foolish because watch time doesn't matter. Of course, taking this movie with this poster, and you're gonna put it on Netflix homepage. Of course, it's gonna be top three, top five, maybe even number one for a week. Who knows? Um, but that doesn't make it good. It doesn't make it quality. The, if I'm Netflix, the most important thing is creating universes that people are fans of. I don't see this spawning any Rebel Moon fandom. I don't see anyone buying Rebel Moon merch, Rebel Moon toys, Rebel Moon video games. And ultimately, I think that's what you want if you're Zack Snyder. You want to spawn something like that. Um, George Lucas isn't the best movie director, but he spawned the greatest universe ever. That's what these people want to do, and I don't see that happening here. So that's my non-spoiler review. Again, I'm gonna have, if you want to hear spoilers for the movie, I'm gonna link my YouTube spoiler review in the comments. I'd appreciate if you give me a sub there. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.